I'm Dave Farron. Most people know me at the ground, Groundsman, Enfield Town Football Club.
Glen, assistant groundsman to Dave at Enfield Town Football Club. At the moment we're mowing twice a week. Ideally we'd like to do it 3 times, but we really don't have the time to do that. It needs to be kept down at quite a short level, so the more you can do it, the more you can keep it down, and it also helps encourage the growth to spread it as well. Now, as we're keeping it quite close down, we're not collecting the grass. I mean, ideally when we're playing football we'll collect the grass and move it off the pitch, but at the moment it doesn't really need to be done.
Of certain areas you've got divots that during the season we'll deal with. Well, soon as we came to the end of this lockdown thing, what we've done, we've left those parts to be worked on as and when. And as Glenn said, we've kept on top of keeping the grass down, but that's now something we're going forward now. We're doing certain areas at the other end of the ground from where we're standing. You can see we've got some poles set out that we're working in squared areas, so we know where we've worked and where we're moving on to. What we're doing, we're lifting those divots, dressing them with sand and seed mixture, and then a light covering the sand over that, and then obviously have to let the repair sort itself out and the grass come through, and then we can whiz over it with a mower. So certain areas for a couple of weeks we won't be on until the grass is established, and then we'll be recutting them again. But,
yeah, I mean, in another video that we've done, we've seen the excellent work that Tottenham did for us, and obviously saved you many hours, but it's quite a huge pitch. What else have you done to help refurbish the pitch? I mean, I've seen some mysterious tools sitting around.
Yeah, what we've got hole post tools about 1 metre in depth, and we've always had a problem area up the central part of the pitch, more near towards the Ladysmith goal end, where we get it puddling. The ground is low there, which is something we've tried to address with the help of the Spurs guys, levelling it out. But pre to those guys coming, what we've done a series of holes 1 metre deep, and back up to about a foot deep from that. We've backfilled it with shingle. Now this hole is about 6 inches in diameter, thereabouts. What we're trying to do is give it some drainage tubes so that those areas don't puddle up quite so often, and we might keep a bit of grass on there and not end up turning to mud.
Basically puts a groundwater drain in.
Yeah. I mean, the proper way of doing it is proper drainage that runs off to the side of the pitch and stuff like that. That's extremely expensive to do.
Yeah, particularly at this time.
Well, at this time, but any time really, it's not a cheap job to do. But once it's done, once that sort of thing's done, you tend to have to get more water on it than normal, because the ground tends to drain really quickly. In the winter it's fine, but in the summer then you end up with patches that I've seen football pitches where they've got lines all over it, and you think, what's that? It's where the grass is like got no water at all, because it's draining too well in the summer. So that's why the irrigation side of it comes into it, and that's why I'm over here. I'm over here at least 3 times a day, moving these watering stands around.
At the moment, because as usual there's no rain in spring, so it has to keep water pretty much 24 hours a day without the rain, and because we've only got a few sprinklers, we have to keep moving them. So
yes, it's our perennial
problem,
low water
unfortunately,
pressure.
There's no underground little sprinklers that pop up and do the whole pitch in one go. It's a question of keep moving them around and making sure the whole pitch gets watered.
Very nice if you've got it, but unfortunately we haven't got that.
Well, it must keep you fit, your daily exercise, wandering up and down this, moving things around.
Oh yeah, I've taken to, instead of coming over in the car, I've taken to coming over on the bike. Glen always comes over on his bike, but I've been coming over on my bike, and I think me and him are ready to form a team ready for the Tour de France now.
Well, the 5-a-side football team will have a couple of bidding volunteers by the sound of it.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's dressing up and seeding all of the areas that are still a bit bare. There'll be weeding, the weeds will start coming through as well, so make sure we're weeding on it. And then it's really just addressing the problems where it's worn out. So there'll be, where it's been seeded, it won't take everywhere, so we'll be constantly reseeding. We'll be fertilising as well as soon as the grass has grown. So that will make it grow even more, so we'll be cutting even more. Yeah, we dug a big trench where the linesman's run on the far side is, because that always floods. So we've dug a big trench there again, drilled the holes in it and filled that with shingle. The trench was about 30 foot long with about 20 holes in it, so that was one of the first things we done, because we knew that'd be a major impact on the pitch, because we didn't know at that time when we'd be playing again. So we thought if we can get that done, and then if it will still be playable, but it just won't be covered in grass. So, but started coming through now, so
Yeah,
it's looking good.
yeah.
Work that the Spurs guys come in and done for us. Eternally grateful for that, because what they did in a morning, literally, Darren Baldwin and 3 of his team came in, and what they did in the morning would have taken me and Glen. We could have done similar, but it probably would have taken us a week to 10 days to do the same thing. They've done it in the morning, which that saved us a mountain of time, and it means that the pitch on those areas, which is the most worn bit, the bit in front of the 2 goals is always the most worn out bit, because most people play up the middle of the pitch, and most people are up the middle of the pitch playing the teams. That's put us at least 2 to 3 weeks in front of what we'd got our schedule for refurb anyway. So that's brilliant, because not knowing when we're coming back, and it doesn't look like we're going to start in August by any standards, but major football may, but our level of football, I think, is going to have to wait just a little bit longer before.
Well, hopefully they're back training by then, but who knows? This is all conjecture from all of us.
Yeah.
It should look like the 18th green at
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Troon by then, I imagine.
Yeah, we've got ideas of, instead of having just a centre circle, we might have some nice water feature in the middle. Cascading water coming down.
Or water jump for the players, have to play over the water
Yeah,
jump.
like most groundsmen, I don't think we'll want the players back playing on it anyway.
No, that's right.
So football resumes.
Yeah, the early break was very welcome, actually, because the pitch was starting to look extremely tired.
Yeah.
And we still had, a good 8 weeks or more of football to go on it.
Yeah.
Before we'd finished completely. So what it would have looked like at the end of that, if we had carried on.
Well, that reminds me of something else. How many games do we generally play on this pitch a year?
When we finished, when we got the call to stop football, we'd played 78 games. We will have played, by the end of this season, we would have played over 100 games. I worked out how many games to go, how many games to play. I worked out to be around over 100 games, and then in the following couple of weeks of that, at the beginning of May, in between the first, there would have been a 5-a-side tournament on it on one weekend, and then there would have been the cinema. We'd have had that on it, and then the last sort of week of May, there would have been another 5-a-side tournament, a 2-day 5-a-side tournament on it then. I didn't add them games into it. But actual football matches we would have had over 100.
Well, it was 70. That's a
we
lot.
stopped at 78, which was still a fair way to go.
That's
all these cup competitions, everybody keeps getting through the next rounds in. That's what does it, and getting drawn at home.
We don't like cup.
Well, we don't like drawn at home. I don't mind cup, but as long as it's away, someone else gets the problem, not us.
I'd like to thank you too very much for what you do. I mean, all the fans, enjoy the pitch, enjoy the playing on the pitch, but I'm not sure sometimes people say enough thank yous, because you do, it's like a second job for both of you, so thank you very much. And maybe, if I feel inclined, I'll come back sort of in July or August, and we'll have another look and see where we are.
No problem, mate. No
Thank you
problem.
very much indeed.
And me and Glen do enjoy the half-time banter when we're doing divots, and we enjoy the half-time banter with the home and away supporters sometimes. It's quite
Very
a bit of fun.
complimentary, aren't they?
Yeah, some of them are.
Well, someone said that's part of football.
Absolutely.
If you're a goalkeeper particularly, you have to gain a thick skin, I'm afraid.
Thick skin and a sense of humour.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Or deaf.